What's up, guys? Welcome to a very special episode of Jenna X. I'm your host, Jenna, and I am joined with a little bit of a crypto content creator, celebrity, I should say, citizen journalist at this point. Hey, Taco, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
GM, Jenna, I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fabulous. I have to share this because, guys, this is Taco, and in case you have not seen, he is on the front on the cover here of the New York Times, and I think it's really awesome. And what Taco has been out there doing is covering the SBF trial. Like, he is on the front lines. So that got my attention because there's not many people that are out there doing this. And I've been covering what I can of the SBF case, but now I get to actually find out all the juicy details. And I'm so excited, Taco.
Yeah, no, so I even made the physical paper of the New York Times. Like I had to go hunt for like an actual newspaper, but I made the front page of the New York Times. I got heavily misquoted. The government thinks I'm dead. So I had to I'm just gonna take that and run with it. And I had to change my Twitter banner to government thinks I'm dead.
Yeah, so that's right here. And I was going to ask you about that. Did they really misquote you, or should you just not have said that? And wait, before we get to the government thinks I'm dead, this is how Taco spends his morning. Many days, the streamer smokes a cigar or two before 6 a.m. and then logs on to a crypto themed video chat, regaling his roughly 5K online followers with the latest news about the case. Everyone talks about how crypto is important to them, Taco said, but then they don't even go to any events. The government thinks I'm dead, he explained, but he felt compelled to show up for technically sort of like the trial of the century.
Yeah. So I in the morning I join Pengu Space ATP across the pond. There's anywhere from 300 to 1,000 people in that, and I sort of tell them out. Shout out to Crypto Dude and K Buddy, we see you. But it's so yeah, no, but I am out there smoking a cigar or two every morning. I just came back from Barcelona from SmartCon, so I grabbed a couple cases of Cubans. So I've been enjoying that. And the quote about everyone saying that crypto is important to them and they don't go to any events, it's like there's conferences, there's meetups, and people are like, oh, I don't want to go do that, or I wouldn't know anyone there. And I'm like, well, that's how you put the name to the PFP,
Right.
And he was like, well, why won't you tell me your name's like your real name? And I was like, everyone knows me as Taco. It's transparency and consistency. I've been player one Taco since late 2019, early 2020. I've always had the player one tag, and it's sort of funny because he was like, "What does it like? Are you like the government think you're dead?" I'm like, "Yeah, the government thinks I'm dead." No, I'm like, no, I was like, I pay taxes 4 ways from Sundays because I want to future proof myself. And yeah, but I'm going to run with it,
I
um,
Yeah, no, I think I think you totally should. And hey, I have dropped your link and everything. Guys, if you're not following Taco, you need to. His links are down below, and you also have a Rumble, and I know we're streaming there live right now. Thanks for everybody who's tuning in. We appreciate you. But you can follow this case. Like, he is live streaming every day that he's there. So Taco, can you kind of give us a rundown of just if anybody's tuning in and they're not exactly sure what all happened? Can you give a summary of basically the fall of FTX and how we got to where we are now?
Yeah, so FTX attempted to do a cross between like Web 2 banking solutions and Web 3 sort of combined, futures, crypto, really easy onboarding. They were basically like a Forex exchange. And from one aspect, they sort of took the entire piece of just money coming in like crazy. But then they use that as their own little piggy bank, and they were using it as their own little piggy bank since like day one almost. And got to see the entire flow of money in and money out because they were over collateralized lending, taking out over collateralized loans. So they'd be putting down like $1 billion to borrow $500,000, and then trading that back and forth. And what it came out to being was when enough people saw the on-chain activity wasn't matching with what they were saying, people did what they normally would do. They're like, yeah, we're taking our money back, what's known as the bank run. And that ended up showcasing the holes that they had in their bank account of not actually having consumer funds and using consumer funds to buy all sorts of crazy things. And from political donations, property, and everything like that in between. What up, Brian? What up, Crypto Dude on the Zen Squad?
We see you guys. What's up?
Yeah. And so it's been, really crazy to see like the flow of money. So far, we are starting our 4th week. I've been in for 2 weeks. Then there was a week right before me. There was 4 days based, and that was like jury selection and the opening trial. I wasn't here for that. I was at the Chainlink conference, but I got in when Gary Wang was testifying, and then Caroline Ellison got to watch her testify. Some FBI agents, telecommunication, Google. They had Google there as well, like the records custodian from Google. So don't ever save anything on Google documents.
Oh wow, good to know.
Everything is saved on on Google servers, and like with a warrant, they can get whatever they want, and they have all that data. Unless you don't care. But then also the big piece was also Cam Sun, the head attorney for FTX, lead counsel. And then also we had to see the financial expert for the prosecution. You might recognize his name. I always forget it. I call him Santa Claus. It was.
Gosh, I feel like I know who you're talking about.
He was the SEC Ripple guy, financial expert, and I Professor Easton Easton.
Yeah.
So it was he did a really good job of showing customer funds and how bank accounts had no money in them, and then where they political party got $20 million, and then that came from Alameda account 446 that had $0, but then it got 20 million sent from here, which got sent from this account, Alameda account number 9, which got funds from the customer side of things. And so sort of showed all of these different donation cycles towards politicians, towards investments, even real estate. Nishad Singh, the head engineer as well, who originally wrote the code in 2017 that allowed Alameda to basically go negative or to not be liquidated or to move funds, sell assets it didn't have. So it's been crazy.
Okay. So I want to kind of back up to the testimonies. What was it like watching Caroline's testimony? Did you have any holy shit moments? Were there things that really stuck out to you? What was that like?
Day one, the first time I saw her, she couldn't find Sam in the defense line because they were point out the defendant in the room, and she just was like a little lost bird. And that big brother inside of me just wanted to be like, I got you. He's right over there. He's that guy, you know, because she was looking in the jury box. Like, and I was like waiting for her to like look under her seat to see if he was there. She was
Oh,
just like lost. And then finally she quit for a second and then she looked again and oh, there he is. And I don't know if it was because Sam doesn't have his curls anymore, you know,
yeah.
or she just didn't know where to look. Um, Hearing her, um, you know, I actually got into trouble in the courtroom the first time when she was testifying and stuff like that because
Why?
I had my smartwatch on me and we're not allowed to have any electronics in.
Oh
Um,
shit.
so some might have been recording.
Oh
No.
shit. Okay, so did they kick you out or what?
So
Obviously they let you
I
back
got
in.
asked, you know, I got sent to the overflow room the first day and that was after lunch. And then from there I got to like I was like, hey, look, you know, deleted it, you know, and they're like, you're not going to give us any. I was like, no, I was like, I apologize. I didn't really know, you know, I just sort of went with it because I knew people, I had heard other sound clips and, you know, I really wanted this. To me, it was like making sure that I was taking notes that were aligning with
Mhm.
what was sort of being said so that my brain was processing right. But
Yeah.
then also I was like, this is sort of history. And like, so it says, like, I was the trial of the century. It was like, you know, for Web3, this
Yeah.
is sort of technically the trial of the century to where we had what looked like an amazing thing.
Hmm.
FTX, Sam was on the front line with regulators, and yeah, he might have been schmoozing and boozing and using the influence pieces that he was buying to like get him into FTX to like. But if they had a chance to actually do good, and they didn't do it.
Well, okay, so I have a question. I know that whenever you're sending funds to politicians to help, with a political campaign or something, there's a cap on how much you can send. And that's why sometimes like a lot of people go through like a pack where they can send more and then it's distributed. Where was he sending the funds to for these politicians?
So they were doing max run throughs, and they were a lot of super PACs that were specific for politicians.
Okay.
Um, you know, like or like you know, even like super PACs that are political campaign stuff that Sam's mom had set up. You
Okay.
know, like over $1 million was sent to Mind the Gap. And like these emails where Barb was telling Sam to like bring Nishad in on it because a lot of the money for the political donations got routed through um, Nishad Singh, and so it was sort of crazy to see how much money just funneled into this. But like when I say I have notes upon, I have like a half a notebook full of
How,
all of this.
how
But
much more sense did that make though, whenever you found out and heard Caroline say that he planned on running for president? Were you shocked?
No, I think I remember hearing something like that, but clarify that, the conversation was on like Sam's ambitions to Caroline, and she actually said that Sam's like, there's like a 5% chance that I could be president. And yeah, so you want to see the notes? Okay, the notes,
Yeah, like
pages of notes.
you gotta
That's
give us the
scribbles.
juice. Okay, so
Yeah.
are you even allowed to like talk about these things? Because I know they tell the jury you're not like allowed to talk about
Oh
it or
yeah.
watch social media, but you're allowed to, right?
Yeah, I'm classified as press, and so you know they have player one taco press pass, you know, um, yeah, I
How
am
hard
the
was
enigma.
it? Like
What?
how hard was it to get in there, to get, a seat?
Um, Showing so it's only the first 21 people, or you know whether public or press are allowed in the courtroom. So I'm getting there between around 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning to get in there. And there's already people lined up, and it's really expected Thursday that might have to show up between like 3:30 and 4, because um, once they get their 21 people in the main courtroom, those are the only 21 people they allow. And so they don't let anyone else in after lunch, if someone leaves. It's sort of crazy, And yeah, as we're broadcasting live to Twitter, to YouTube, to Rumble. Shout out to everyone. Hit that smash like, comment, subscribe, bookmark buttons. Give Jenna the cred that she deserves. Heck yeah.
Smash that like, guys. Show me some love. If you're not subscribed, what are you even doing with your life?
Yeah. You were at the XRP party, weren't you?
Absolutely, I was. Were you there?
I was not, because I was in Barcelona. I got the
damn.
I got
Must
the
be nice. Barcelona, bro. I love that. Well, you know what? We were on a space, and I was like, when I read the New York Times article, I was like, holy shit, I know him, because I remember you being in a space, and I was like hosting. I was like, hey, is there something you want to talk about? And I was like, ha ha, dad joke. That's never gonna get old with me ever.
it's let's talk about it. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. That's what we're here doing. We're talking about, guys. So, okay, drop if you have questions that you want to know too, please by all means drop them in the chat, because we got our insider here, and I think that this is amazing, by the way. And thank you for doing this and making the time. I think it is too cool.
Of course.
So, I guess what everybody is basically, so you've been there for how long? You said
2 weeks.
4 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay.
So trial's starting its 4th week. I was so there's no court Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because the judge is at a conference. So court resumes on Thursday. And from there, the prosecution has 2 or 3 more witnesses. They think that it's going to take about an hour and a half or so. And the prosecution or the defense will then take up over after lunch, is the plan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How
November
long?
6th to the end of the week of November 6th is what trial is set to for the defense to rest. They might get it done in the first week of like the 30th, and then it's handed over to the jury. So right now the defense is sort of laying out the grounds that there wasn't an explicit or clear way for like that Alameda or FTX couldn't use consumer funds. But this was one of the things that Sam did and their terms of service did. They left no doubt. They very clearly laid out. I didn't use FTX. I hated Alameda because I hated what they did to a couple tokens of mine.
Okay.
Of just crashing the price as a market maker. Yeah, and so it was really they had the clout, they had everything to do right. Looking at the numbers and everything like that, and like all of the graphs in the books, the week of April 1st of this year, they were actually, was it this year? It was either this year or last year. I forget. I think it might have been last year, 2022. Yeah, last year, because so last year, April 1st, that first week, they actually were completely in the black. All debts were paid off. All consumer funds were where they needed to be. And they could have just gone with doing the normal business and been on the up and up. And instead they went out and took like another $7 billion worth of loans, paid out $500 million to do stupid things. And even the week of FTX's collapse, that first week of November, Nishad Singh, even though he says that he always felt bad about and he felt sick because of consumer funds, he went and put $3.1 million down on a house out in Washington, knowing that it was consumer funds. And it was really, really funny because he was like, I felt so bad about that I forfeited it. No, the government seized it. That's what forfeiture means. You didn't do anything nice.
Oh, so he tried to spin it the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
they a lot of them are all trying to spin it like they were just caught up in it. There
Mhm.
was the verbal recordings of Caroline during when she was explaining to everyone during the Alameda All Hands. The best quote, I don't know if I have it in this book, but it was Drapey was an employee there, and there was this guy, Rick Best. It was his third day on the job.
Okay.
And so he was recording this meeting because his second day was like everything was down, and going crazy. And the third day was this meeting. And so Drapey went to Caroline, and this was recorded after she sort of explained everything. Was this wasn't like just a YOLO thing, was it? Right? You know, like asking if Caroline had like done this all on her own or if this was
Yeah.
a bigger thing. And she was like, no, like there's a lot involved in this, and just sort of like laughing it off. And yes, it was a nervous laugh, 100% nervous laugh because like it was all sort of coming out. But she texted Sam that she felt so happy and that like she could live again and breathe again, that this burden was off of her
Mhm.
shoulders. She could tell people. So it was sort of hilarious to see that go. Um, I just, yeah, it was crazy. It's been crazy.
Do you think that she lost her virginity to Sam?
Um, I, the me says, look, I think, she originally met him. She went to Stanford, and then her first major job was at James Street Trading. That's where she met Sam. I don't know. It's who knows,
Did anybody bring up the orgies? Was
I
that a
was
thing?
waiting for that. No one brought up any orgies.
Okay.
No one brought up any drugs.
Okay.
Nishad was sort of questioned about uh he was testifying about like that in January he was like reporting to the FBI that the middle of 2022 was really hazy to him. And I was like, man, this was a perfect time for the defense to ask about like drugs, rock and roll, and sex and stuff like that, and didn't. So yeah, no orgies and drugs confirmed, um,
Okay.
or talked about. Not even
It's a
like parties or
shame.
anything like that. Like not even
Yeah.
the Bahamas party was talked about yet. So
It's a
disappointing on that.
shame. Yeah, yeah. Like I was like hoping to hear some dirty details about these nerds getting down.
They've been sort of yeah, they were just being too scandalous, stealing consumer funds to like worry about any other like puberty things. They're still going through puberty. Like I look at them, I looked at Nishad and like the court artist. She's drawing like how she sees these people. Like Sam looks like a troll
Oh
in
yeah.
these court art pieces.
Mhm.
Um, Nishad, she drove like made him look like these like 80-year-old dude, but like in the suit on the stand, he looks like this 16-year-old in like this oversized suit who's like, I don't know how billionaires are supposed to live, so I just spent, $30 million on an apartment because I thought that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean that sounds right, right? Live the life. I mean that didn't go wrong for the Celsius guy who bought his girl like a $30 million penthouse with all the funds that he raised. Like,
Yeah.
come on. You can't like if you're gonna do shady shit, you can't be throwing it in everybody's face, guys. You can't be
Well,
doing it.
it seems like that seems to be the best way to get not caught.
It's to be lavish.
Yeah, like look at it like every lavish person just sort of gets like it's just like, oh, they made it in the crypto bull run or something like that. Um,
Listen, if I got a Lamborghini, people would be coming at me for money and shit all of the time. I'm not gonna get a Lamborghini, but fun fact, not related to the SBF trial, but I did hear that the average penis size of a Lamborghini owner is 2.5 inches today. So I did learn that.
Good thing I don't own a Lambo. Wait, I own a smart car. No.
I'm never getting monetized on my channel. I've given up, guys. I've given up. All right, back to the SBF stuff. So, okay, what are Caroline and the other homies facing as far as what are they looking at for their sentence? You know, because I know they're all singing like canaries. Do you have any idea of what that looks like?
Nishad is looking at roughly 70 years, but when he was asked like what he is expecting to get with his 5K letter, meaning the letter that the prosecution writes on his behalf to the judge, he's hoping he doesn't get any jail time. Cam's son, the lead attorney, has a non-prosecution letter, so he can't be prosecuted because of he's trying to say that my job was the terms and service documents and getting everything aligned. And, you know, from there, it was really, you know, it wasn't, he was just told what everyone was doing. He's like, I asked, and they said that this is what they were doing, that they were doing good stuff. And I have no way of confirming that. And so I took it at face value. So, but like the day everything collapsed, Gary Wong, you know, the November 7th, or I think it was November 8th, November 9th, that day, the day he made attorneys in New York, they flew down to the Bahamas. So like he had stuff ready, you know. These people all have, the only one that's facing campaign finance donation, you know, is Nishad. Sam's not facing any of that.
What? He's not?
No. So they weren't able, because everything was sort of funneled through Nishad. Nishad's the one that is being found, you know, pled guilty to.
This dirty, dirty little weasel.
Yeah. But since we're talking about stuff that's, I've been really hesitant because I didn't want to demonetize you. But let's talk about Thai prostitutes.
Okay. Or were they involved?
Yes.
What? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I want to know about. This. Let's go.
You just thought we were going to talk about Thai prostitutes and you were down?
Yeah. So guys, you're might have to find me on Rumble next, okay? I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on YouTube. Not by my choice. All right.
Hey, no, we're just repeating legal facts. That's all.
Okay. So they were tell me about these prostitutes.
All right. So OKX and Huobi locked up $1 billion worth of FTX funds on their exchange, or Alameda's funds on their exchanges. And so from that, they tried, the funds were locked, but they could still trade on the accounts. And so they tried like trading the money off and everything like that, but they couldn't do that. So Caroline said, we got Thai prostitutes to make accounts, and we tried to do bad trades to where the trades would like be up in the Thai prostitutes' favor to where that they could then send the money off. But they were like, and then our Thai prostitutes got found out somehow or something like that. And so then from there, they ended up having to pay like $150 million to Chinese officials in bribes. And they did it all via blockchain and stuff like that. So I'm like on the hunt for these wallet addresses to help like lay out where this money, but yeah, no, Caroline Ellison just sort of brought this up, and someone said that she just brought it up out of the blue. She was sort of like, the prosecution layered it to where like, all right, what were all of the things that you tried to do to unlock these funds? And she's like, oh, we tried you know, talking with Huobi and OKX, you know, so OKX and Huobi were basically either they were given government pressure from China to like hold up those funds, or they were just trying to steal Alameda's funds.
Mhm.
And so it took like $150 million, to get $1 billion off those exchanges.
So if all else fails, we tried everything else. We decided we were going to hire Thai prostitutes. Who went
I don't know
scouting
if
for
I don't
them?
know if they already if they already knew them, or if they like got the business card and like they just came up and they're like, "Hey honey, what we do? $50 make you holla?" No, honey, I need you to make a bank account. And you're like, "Oh." I don't know how that went, if they were already on call, if they were friends, or just random people they found on the street.
Wow, like how this plays out and goes down, like I wish I could have seen. And there's just a bunch because I'm like, why does the prostitute matter? It could have been like these, foreign nationals or something, these, foreign people that did this, but they're very like they've got to say prostitutes. So, you know, it,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's it was very funny that, I was like, why do you have to just call? I'm sure they have day jobs or night jobs too. They do something else, I'm sure, you know?
Where did they find them? Did they literally go to Thailand? Someone give them a business card, like, hey, we know these girls, they'll make up bank accounts where you can do whatever you want. Like, it had to be somebody, in their group that was getting their rocks off, obviously.
Or
Maybe
they
they
already had
own,
them on call for like
yeah,
other politicians or other parties and stuff like that, like
yeah,
that they had
yeah.
on call. Or they've used them for other like shady account stuff before as well. Just so you know, Snoop, when your name is Taco, every day is Tuesday.
I know I was regretting. I was like, shit, we should have done this on Tuesday, but no, I
Yeah.
want to talk about it now. That would be even funnier. What's up, Brian? I see you still in here. King Alexander in the house. Snoop, this is my homie. He is the best Discord manager in the world, and Brian's also in there modding and keeping things going for me. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys do. K
Nice.
buddy, my homie. Yeah, we got so many homies in the house. Oh, Johnny Crypto's in the house. He said that rat snake weasel. Yes, Johnny. Yes, yes, he is. Um, Hang on, I got a question for you, Taco. Is there
Okay.
anything that Taco heard in the trial so far that sticks out that really hasn't been written about or that the public hasn't heard? Good question.
Um, let's see. So, like on either how stupid some of these people are in explaining Web3 things, or like Santa Claus, as I like to refer to him as, when he was showing like the flow of consumer funds, he was like showing crypto symbols, and he's like Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDT, USDC. He had the symbol for Ethereum Classic, not Ethereum. For Ethereum, because Ethereum is gray black and Ethereum Classic is green and light green. But then when he was talking about when Binance, when all of the shares were being bought back from Binance for $2.1 billion, so $1.2 billion was from consumer funds, and the other billion was roughly like from like other sources of inflow, like investor funds or something like that. But he then said, "Oh, it was bought with BNB and BUSD," and then he was like, "BNB is the Binance token, and BUSD is Bitcoin stable dollar." And I was like, "No, no, no,
No,
no."
it's not.
I was yeah, I was like, I laughed, I snorted. I was like, it was like,
It
yeah,
means dynams.
yeah.
Wow.
Um, let's see. One of the things I learned with BlockFi is the only one of the only other companies that is allowed to make uncollateralized loans with them on chain is BlackRock. Our good friends there. Um,
Whoa, wait. Didn't I thought BlockFi went bankrupt?
so BlockFi went bankrupt. I think they're still in proceedings and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, you know, Anthropic, FTX used $500 million worth of consumer funds to invest in it, and it looks like so the FTX estate is looking like, looking at where its assets are to pay off, and Anthropic actually might be a win to get into and look into. I haven't done any research on it, but they were there. I saw a report today that Anthropic has some really good stuff coming out in the AI field. And that was like looking at Nishad when he was talking. He really geeked out talking about Anthropic. Like he was really excited about it. So I was like, ooh, this might be something to look into.
Okay.
Let's see. What really tickled SBF's pickle was a meeting that he had with Michael Kivas, I think, from K5 organization. So that K5 was what they used to like pay celebrities and stuff like that.
Okay.
He had dinner with Clinton, Doug Inhofe, who is Kamala Harris's husband, Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom, Kate Hudson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeff Bezos, Ted Sarandonis, Kendall Jenner, Kris Jenner, and Corey Gamble. When Nishad was being asked about who these people were and like what they did, he went through like each person. But then what was sort of made the courtroom laugh was he's like, Kendall and Kris Jenner, I know who they are, but I don't know what they do. And I don't think anyone does, nothing like the biggest thing that I want to figure out is this $150 million to Chinese officials.
Yeah.
I might be able to get the wallet address that was submitted by David Ma for them to send the payment to. And then this was in November of 2021. So like I go hunt and do on-chain analytics and find out, where this, 150 million went. So yeah, that's going to be fun. In 2021, Nishad took a $10 million loan from customer funds to give to friends and family.
Who takes a loan to give away as a gift?
That's how they were doing, like, because they weren't having to pay back these loans. They were taking loans from customer funds.
Wow. What shitbags? What entitled shitbags?
Yeah. That's what it was. That's what I really got out of it. After like that first day of like Caroline speaking and me being like, oh, like, how can I help you? You're so tiny. Like, she is very tiny, but I am also very big. Yeah. They just talked like how she talked about how they set up and moved funds and, how much over $800 million got scammed off of FTX in their margin issue with both mobile coin and BMTX. There was such small liquidity on the exchange that people were able to drive the price really high, and then they borrowed Bitcoin against it and moved it off. So yeah, that was, it was there was just a lot of crazy stuff. It really sucked. I'm a huge Solana fan.
Yeah.
And really sucks to see what they did to that ecosystem with Serum. Serum was a really good protocol, but they basically drained it, and they created it and drained it. And so it was just sort of crazy. All that they've done. But the attorney said something really funny when asked about like the truth, like whose truth. He sort of said, I have this line written down of like, it was almost like a Bill Clinton line.
Oh God.
Who makes the determination about truth? That's what an attorney said. That's what the FTX attorney said. Who makes the determination about truth? When he was being crossed. And I was like, okay, yeah, that was sort of fun. Not really. But when
I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah. Who makes the determination about truth? Yeah, third point, investment firm, they lost $60 million in FTX. It was, there's just so much pieces through all of this that, they had this one lady up. She was the FTX government relations and advisor policy person. I just want to, I called her Aubrey Plaza, because she just had that dead tone face and like voice. Like I wasn't there, part of it. And I definitely think that Filecoin is way better, just because I love Filecoin.
Oh, you agree with my statement? Oh, yeah. I think when they're shilling ICP, I'm like, it's not like an uncapped supply. I think the team owns most of it, but it came out, it was like pumping like crazy, and then it just like dropped and went down. It had to like, figure out what the price is even going to be. Filecoin's tried and true, man. It has a long way to pump.
Yeah, and the simple fact, like ICP, like the team, the idea of it is good, but like the team execution is horrible. I have a dev who's been built stuff and like has it, but then they like keep reorganizing some of the technicals and they won't like complete anything. So it's sort of crazy on what they do.
That's the problem with devs though, right? Because they're so close to it, they'll just keep changing it, and it's hard to like get something finished sometimes.
Yeah. Well, hey, ICP is up. It's at 356 right now, So, but that's up from like 310 this morning. So, it's at in that $3 range. So everything's pumping today. Bitcoin hit $35,000 for a minute.
Yeah, that was crazy. Hang on. Let me we're gonna take a break and have a word from our sponsor, CoinMarketCap. Just kidding. I wish they were my sponsor. Wouldn't that be dope? Oh, guys. Shit, we're in greed now, baby. We're going. We're in greed. We're taking profits. Guys, literally 2.5, 3 weeks ago, we were staying at 37 when I first started all of my live streams in the night, and we really ran up. Check this out. Bitcoin's still over 32,000. Fuck yeah, which is what we wanted today. XRP at 55 cents. That's cool. Everything's pumping.
I'm currently up 558%. On my 200x leverage trading.
What? You DJ, you are what? You 200x? What are you 200x on?
Mexi.
Yeah, I use Mexi too, but are you playing on like Bitcoin or what?
Yeah. Bitcoin. I do Bitcoin. I rode Star L up, till it hit a penny, and then I put in all the shorts on it. I do a lot of Solana. I will be honest though, I have so much faith in the ecosystem that I really only do longs.
Yeah.
I don't really like to put in shorts because then I'm hoping something does bad. And other than shit coins, I have fun with shit coins, but they all serve a purpose in some way, shape, or form. They get someone, if they bring one person on, I think they've done their purpose. So yeah.
I have like shorts and longs on open on the same token at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I know this pump, but it's going back down, but then I have like such a big margin. I'm like, no, I'm riding this one until like all through, the bull run until I finally, yeah.
Yeah, no, I opened up a long last night on Bitcoin when it was at 29,000 and closed that out at 33,000. So that was like a 2,200% win, and I was like, yeah, 200x
that too early. Oh my god, I got to get like you. That is phenomenal.
I sleep better when I 200x. If I 20x something, I'm like, I'm watching the charts nonstop. So yeah,
Oh
it's
my
sort
God,
of
I
fun.
know. And the bull run, guys, we are not gonna sleep. How euphoric was that today? Where, of course, anything could happen, but fuck, it feels so good.
Well, so BlackRock's ETF was supposedly given a not a stock ticker yet, but identification number. So right before our identification number comes, right after our identification number comes a ticker symbol. So, BlackRock right now is they've done 300. I saw the meme today, or not meme, but actual like data put out. They've done 357 ETF applications, and so far they've had 356 approvals. So, and that's everything they've done, not just so that one approval they haven't gotten yet is Bitcoin. But Larry Fink wouldn't put something in if he thought it was going to fail, in my opinion. You know,
I agree with that, and the bullish statements that he's made publicly, especially last week. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago when the fake news came out, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just catching up to this," and just saying like, basically, this is what we need. What do you call it? I forget. Oh, something of safety. I can't remember exactly now,
what
but
Larry Fink called it,
yeah, a flight to
financial
safety.
like a financial safety piece. I know what
Yeah.
talk you're talking about. I remember hearing that, but I don't remember the term that he used.
I think he said like flight to safety or something is what he called Bitcoin. But anyway, I was like, fuck yeah, man. Like he's gonna be out there telling us to like Fox Business News and everybody. And when he speaks, people listen. Get ready. We're gonna boom. I think this is gonna be a super cycle.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Make sure you like just collect dumb tokens too. Anything in the top, anything in the top 500 on like coin market cap, like grab 10, $15 of DCA average, dollar cost average into. Don't bet the house, you know. Um, but
But don't
uh
forget you have them.
yeah, don't forget you have them, it's one of those things like found money is good money. I love you. You use DBank too. I find so many
Right.
assets sometimes in DBank. I was like, oh yeah, I staked that a long time ago. I was happy to find that, you know.
Right, right. And guys, nothing obviously hear here is financial advice. His name's Taco. He doesn't even have a real name. We're just people on the internet.
The
You can't
government thinks I'm
hear
dead.
thing. The government thinks that he's actually dead.
So says
Like
the New York Times.
that was amazing, by the way. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah. No. And what I like to say is my life is crypto, cigars, and caffeine. If you're influenced by me, prepare to get wrecked.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
But
Love it.
yeah, no, I saw someone say Haycoin. Haycoin has had because the founder burned 99% of the supply. So,
What do you think
yeah.
about Hello? Have you heard about Hello?
Hello.
It's like
No,
a
I haven't.
degen coin. People are liking that one. I'm really into Playzat PZP. It hasn't seen a bull run yet. It has about half of the supply that Axie Infinity has, and it's like started. I don't know, Quint Market Cap tracking around 17 cents. I think I buy about 15 cents, and that is when right before Axie pumped, it was like sitting at 17 cents, and we saw like a huge, massive pump with that. So I don't think GameFi is dead by any means, but
No.
any like low market cap gems you have to have like a lot of these blue chips. I'm going to be happy with the 10x, and that's what I'm expecting, and that's why obviously I trade. But I like these like 50 to 150x chances,
Yeah.
especially like do you like Caspa?
Caspa. Yep. I know about Caspa in it a little bit. eBase, one of the
Never heard that one.
base chain tokens.
Yeah.
They did an airdrop for everyone uh, that had bridged over to Base
Mhm.
before Base went officially live, and they have this. If you stake your eBase, they have this algorithmic trading bot that does trades, and the profits get distributed back to the holders. It's one of those stupid things that might hit, might not, but it's been around since day one. Um, you know, And yeah, always be safe and be wary. Tone coin, which juicy details that was talked about at the SBF trial was Sam went to Saudi Arabia and was attempting to buy Telegram and be the financial instrument within Telegram.
Oh shit. Thank God he didn't, because it's ton coin or tone coin now, right?
Yeah, tone. I don't know how TON.
Neither.
But I think they even have their own chain. Like some of the safe stuff that has some good X opportunities is like Glimmer and Link.
Yeah.
Glimmer is the Moonbeam token on Polkadot, but CCIP, which is the cross-chain interoperability protocol, that's going to be the communication layer between 17 chains for Chainlink.
Wow.
Moonbeam is the communication layer. So you want to do something on Polygon and call something over onto Avalanche, Moonbeam is going to be the middle layer.
Really? I
Yeah.
saw Arrington Capital is a really huge investor in Glimmer, GLM, or in Moonbeam. The only thing I find it very slow, kind of clunky.
It's 30-second finalization time because it is a smart contract language, meaning it's doing all processes on chain. And so that the execution happens fast. It's the settlement that takes about 28 seconds on average. My DEX is on Moonbeam, and there's just some cool stuff in the entire Polkadot ecosystem growing out. I'm not a huge fan of Hedera or Cardano just because of usability. XRP is going to have some really cool shit when they come out with their EVM side of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I just think that it's going to be better once they get the AMM passed, but we're having a lot of validator drama right now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You're probably seeing some of that. I just pulled up Moonbeam.
Yeah, so we see Glimmer was all the way up at when it launched, $12. The big issues was there was a lot of Luna in Moonbeam, and there was and then Nomad hack as well last year drained a lot. Like it drained a lot from a lot of players. Nomad was the bridge. I think Moonbeam was trading around like 60, 75 cents, $2. And after Nomad, it's dropped down. But Moonriver is the testnet version of Moonbeam. So like Polkadot and Kusama, Moonriver was meant to be just a testnet, but Degen's play, and it's been doing some really crazy stuff there. So
yeah, I just had to pull it up to check on it because I remember it went nuts. Anything could happen. Anything.
Yeah. I like all of this stuff. XLM, I see you, Team Sosa. XLM is good but they're like they're going to be financially regulated. They might move into like a KYC type of thing. Degens are still going to play, but a lot of traffic's left XLM and gone to even gone to Polkadot. Like a lot of projects that were using XLM, they've made their own parachains on Polkadot because they were just tired of like some of the regulatory stuff. They couldn't jump through all the hoops because they're providing DeFi or different financial instruments. But there's some really cool stuff coming up. Avalanche is a good thing too. So, yeah.
I love AVAX. I love AVAX under like $10, honestly. Like a $8 AVAX makes me happy. This is above what I want to pay for it right now. But
hey, once more of their stuff comes online with Amazon, things are going to go crazy. And Solana's going to be is doing all of the sizzle. All right, do you go by Sizzle?
Jay Sizzle, yeah. Sizzle.
Yeah.
And listen, my rap name is Lil Sis.
Lil Sis. All right.
Yeah, Lil Sis.
All right.
When I drop some bars.
About so on ramp, off ramp. Um, let's see. The Cool Flower plays in my books. Mercury or Mercurio is coming up with a. Ooh, I will not touch on Cosmos, but Mercurio is coming up with a virtual debit card for off ramping, so you can like load it up with your Pepe or whatever token that has power, and as long as it's got a USD pair to it, you can spend it.
Which one was that?
That's Mercurio, Mercury. So, and then I work for Banksa, so I always got a shout out to Banksa, but they're more of an institutional piece. And so it's going to be some cool stuff. Dot is a good buy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dot's mad cheap. What is it now? $4.37. It was just like $3.
Yeah. Near, as much as I dislike the back end of Near, there's some cool stuff that they're doing with a lot of Web 2 companies. So what's funny is I was wearing that pink shirt the day that was Tuesday last week. That was the day that the Sweat coin, Sweat, for those that sweat, their wallet launched. And so I had met the team and I had promised them that I would wear it on the day the wallet launched. And I didn't know where I would be that day. Little did I know I'd be at court.
Wow. That was such a great advertisement for them. I hope you got paid.
I did not.
Well, it looks great. Pink is your color.
Yeah. It looks good. I'm wearing like a DGen. You can't see it, but I got a cigar in my mouth there. So I'm like the classic DGen move. I think on Twitter,
I love it. I love it. I hope that you frame this. I think it's amazing. So how much longer do you have? I think you said with the case something about November 6th, was it?
They could finish as soon as November 6th. The week of the 30th, they might rest, and then once it's handed over to the jury, they could be done in an hour or who knows how long.
Well, is SBF even going to testify? Like, has anyone given this man his Adderall yet? This child, I should call him. He is not a man.
So Thursday was actually his first day finally getting his extended release Adderall in the morning. He takes some dose in the morning, but he was supposed to take a 20 milligram dose in the afternoon that he wasn't getting. So I saw someone say something about MoneyGram. Cool thing for Solana fans, decaf. You can send within decaf, you can send anything to MoneyGram within 5 minutes, and around the world, anyone can go pick that up. So talk about off ramping for no fees there. That's a great thing. You want to send money to your mom in France or your dad in Canada. Solana, yeah. And Solana's being the new payment processing level for Visa. So there's some cool shit coming out.
That surprised me. Or hey, are they still making a phone, or is that done? Because I remember last year.
That's the Saga.
They did it?
Yeah. They're doing a decentralized cell phone service like down in Miami. It's like $5 a month for your cell phone service.
I had no idea. Okay,
yeah,
so
the Saga phone. I like it.
I won't do anything other than an iPhone. I'm a snob. Okay, so are you into XLM? Are you into Stellar?
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought that this was interesting, guys. I want to play something. Yeah, start.
Play. While she's loading that, Snoop, the only chance they actually have is him testifying.
Wait, did it not? Hang on. Did it play? Did you hear it?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, so you can't hear it, so only I can hear it?
You got to do the share screen sound.
Oh, thank you for helping me navigate my own stream. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no, we both use StreamYard, and I got to do a huge shout out to StreamYard. They do cool shit.
Okay, let me know if this works, okay? Hang
All right.
on. We're gonna try this. I found this really interesting.
Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is coming to financial services.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The greatest distraction to the greatest disruption.
Yeah, so she's literally saying, this is Franklin Templeton. She's Franklin Templeton, President and CEO, Jenny Johnson. And here she is with Danelle Dixon, who obviously is, what is she? Is she the CEO now of Stellar Foundation? It's crazy that she's saying that. Like, it just makes me more bullish on XLM when they're just like, everybody's pushing Bitcoin and they're just trying to distract you. I had a friend in the NSA and she told me like she was extremely bullish on XLM. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that.
So XLM, I use Coinbase and I get I use my debit card to spend my crypto profits. I get 1% back. I chose XLM. Right now it's trading like 10, 11 cents. I don't know if it's pumped today. I'm sure it has, like everything else. It's usually up in that high range. So I have, it's at 11 cents right now. So it's pumped up, a penny and a half. But I remember it used to be in the 45-cent dollar range. And so there's some good options there,
It just amazes me though, like right now, Stellar does more transactions than any other blockchain, and its price though is still literally like 10, 11 cents. But at the same point, my thought is like I feel like they have this like safety card because they're kind of in bed with the CFTC. Jag really gets away with everything. I don't know if he might actually be informant for the CIA or NSA or something, or just has enough friends with the elites and everything like that he just always slides under the radar with different things. Like, it seems like he can kind of do no wrong, you know what I mean? So that is something that makes me feel just like long term with this. I don't know, just something because I just don't think it's going anywhere.
No, I don't. I definitely know it's not going anywhere. Price action for it's been in the highest is around 70 cents, so I think it will get adopted because it's following that ISO 222 or 2022 series of payments. That it will fall in line as a payment processing layer for international banks. So I think there was a lot of talk in Europe of using it as a like property settlement chain, for documents. I think that there's some cool stuff there. It's a long-term hold,
Yeah, definitely.
Accumulate and stake, and keep on that.
Yeah, definitely long term. Okay, so I've had you for forever, for like an hour. Thank you so much for hanging out, by the way. So I just want to pick your brain on one last thing, Taco. One last thing I want to talk about. All right, so what do you think will end up being like? I want you to make a prediction of SBF's sentence. What do you think will happen, and what do you want to see happen?
Yeah. He's going to be found guilty. What I wish will happen is, because I wish that it will be made shown that mouth jargon there. I wish it will come out that it was the blockchain side of things that showed the nefarious actions, because that's, when they were doing everything in banks and bank transfers, couldn't see any of that. Right. And I want to touch on that too on a side note piece. But it was when they were doing stuff on chain that allowed people to see that what they were saying on paper and what they were saying aloud didn't line up. And so it was when they were doing the on-chain stuff, allowed people to see and allowed them to follow the customer funds for these things that wasn't actually going on, So I think guilty on all charges or most charges. I'm hoping jail time. I'm pretty sure jail time is going to happen. Caroline, Nishad, Gary Wong, they're not going to get jail time, I don't think. I hope they do. That'll be for a judge to decide. But yeah, this was one of those things that who could sing the loudest, quickest, fastest. And we had SBF doing like, I really didn't know what was going on to her. And that didn't really line up with what he was saying behind the scenes.
Exactly. And that doesn't cut it. When you have billions of dollars that have been lost, literally you have people contemplating and that may have actually committed suicide. Like literally people have lost their entire savings, like completely crushed. That whole I didn't know just doesn't fucking cut it. And I hope they all get sentences. Honestly, I think they all could use a little time in the slammer personally. They deserve it, in my opinion.
But they totally do. How will SBF be remembered in 10 years? He was on the cover of Time magazine, so obviously it will be. The memes will last longer than him. He had the chance to be the hero of blockchain. Instead, he's the zero. Yeah, Sam who?
Yeah.
But it's like what was sort of funny. Elizabeth Warren has been blockchain sort of nightmare for a little bit.
God.
She just had 100 senators and regulators sign on to her petition about AML and everything like that for money being funneled to terrorists. And then Forbes wrote a piece saying actually the government took over that website back in like 2018. So this $40 million of crypto actually went to the US government and to Israel and was actually paying for them to fight back in a way. So the Washington Post isn't renouncing their thing. So, but it's Chain Analysis was the company that was hired to trace all of these funds, even to the point to where Hamas had originally said that, Bitcoin transactions were completely anonymous and untraceable. And the US took over the website and everything like that. And they were fishing the funds and they were getting all the funds and stuff like that people thought they were donating for the last 5 years. And really it was going to the DOJ. So this was a scene where this is a sign where, US government sort of did a good job. But yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I like Snoop X, he who shall not be named, curly hair.
Mini Madoff. Listen, the blockchain tells no lies, guys. Do not do shady shit. If you don't want to get in trouble, use cash for that. Not financial advice.
Just don't be a dick.
Don't be a fucking dick. Oh my gosh. So thank you so much, Taco. I appreciate your time. Guys, thanks everybody in the chat who is hanging out, talking with us, sharing your time. I appreciate you all. hoping that, all of this darkness gets brought to light. And, I really do hope that everybody gets what they deserve in this. Karma is a biatch. And yeah, I'm not too keen on the next FTX. I will stay far away from that as well.
I think counterpoint, I think centralized exchanges that are trying to do it right will be the onboarding for grandma and grandpa.
Sure. And
but
they have to make it easy. It has to be a sleek, easy design, so simple to use. I agree with you.
Yeah. So
I agree. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Taco. Go ahead and shout where to find you at.
Yeah, Twitter is the best place to find me at. Player One Taco. It looks like when I message it, it comes from you, but Player One Taco on Twitter is the #1 way to find me. YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Discord, Telegram, everything, Lens, everything.
Or check out the info. I got it posted below too. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have an awesome night.
Thanks
Peace
for having me.
out. Take those profits.